RemyMa has done a lot in her life, survived prison, dominated rap battles, flipped the male-dominated game on its head. But no one, and I mean no one, ever expected to see her like this. Not Remy, not the Bronx-bred lioness, not the unshakable queen who never showed a tear knot in court, not on stage, not even when the world turned on her, and yet here we are. The camera shakes slightly. The lighting is dim. There's no glam squad, no entourage. Just Remy, eyes puffy, voice cracking, and one sentence that sent the entire internet into freefall. Papoose, I'm sorry. Just 2 days earlier, that sentence would have been unthinkable. After all, it was his breakdown that went viral. It was Papoose's most loyal husband in hip-hop, who stood broken in front of a packed audience at a private industry event, blindsided by a question about Remy's alleged affair. One question, one name, and Pap snapped. And the clip? It spread like wildfire. Yo, did y'all see Papoose crying? Nah, that ain't no performance. That man is broken. This ain't no storyline. That's 17 years of loyalty collapsing on camera. It wasn't staged. It wasn't filtered. It was real. And the pain in his eyes. It exposed a truth nobody wanted to admit. RemyMa might have finally gone too far. So when she posted that raw, unedited video, fans didn't scroll past, they froze. Because something was about to break. And for the first time in nearly 2 decades, it wasn't Papoose carrying the emotional. Wait, it was Remy. But before we even touched that apology we unpacked the chaos it caused. And the nuclear fallout still unraveling behind the scenes. We need to rewind. Because the story that led to this apology, it's not just about cheating. It's about betrayal, ego, silence, loyalty, and the truth that everyone ignored. Until now. For nearly 2 decades, Papoose stood as a monument of loyalty in hip-hop. Supportive, solid. While the world chased clout, Pap stood still. When Remy went to prison, he waited. When she came home, he married her on the spot. He raised her son like his own. He helped rebuild her career from ashes. But now, that image has shattered. And it didn't crumble in private. It exploded in front of everyone. It was supposed to be a low-key industry mixer. We invite in these. We see no press, just artists and execs blowing off steam. But when Papoose was asked a simple question during a panel, how do you protect your peace in a relationship when the whole world is in your business? His voice cracked, and then he broke. What started as a composed nod quickly turned into a visible tremble. He grabbed the mic with both hands like he was holding on to gravity itself and said, "You don't. You survive it." Silence. People thought it was a metaphor until he kept going. You survive the looks, the rumors, the phone calls that stopped coming. You survive seeing the woman you built an empire with pretend like none of it mattered. A few gasps from the audience. People started pulling out their phones. One brave soul in the front row whispered, "Is he talking about Remy?" I didn't just love how I fought for her. I turned down deals. I missed moments with my family. I waited 8 years while she sat in a cell writing me love letters. And now? His voice broke again. Now y'all asking me how to protect my peace. That clip was 52 seconds long, and it burned through the internet in 2 hours, trending on Twitter, viral on TikTok, millions of views on Instagram. Papoose is broken. This man held her down, and this is what he gets. RemyMa needs to speak now. We watched the most loyal man in hip-hop fall apart. But Remy didn't post, didn't comment, didn't even like a tweet until today, and what she posted didn't fix anything. It lit the match on a forest of pain, betrayal, and hidden wounds that fans never knew existed, because her apology wasn't just emotional. It was confessional. And the secrets she finally revealed have already changed the way people will look at their love story forever. The video begins in silence. RemyMa sits alone in what looks like the corner of a hotel room. No chains, no glam, no makeup team in sight. Just her, a sweatshirt, a bare face, and swollen eyes that told the world everything it needed to know. She'd been crying for hours. She presses record, and for a full 20 seconds, she says nothing. The silence is deafening. And then she speaks, "I never wanted it to come to this. I never thought I'd be the one causing this kind of pain. But here I am, and I can't run from it anymore." The chat went insane. The comments exploded. She's finally speaking. What is happening right now? Wait, is this real? Don't cry now, sis. You should have thought about that before you hurt that man. Remy inhales sharply, fighting back more tears. Papoose, I let you down. And I've been trying to figure out how to say this without making it worse. But the truth is, it was never about just one mistake. It was about me thinking I could keep everything together when I was already breaking inside. The word mistake hit like a THUNDERCLAP. Fans zoomed in, paused, replayed. Did she just admit to it? Yes, but she wasn't finished. You waited for me while I was locked up. You raised my son. You protected me from an industry that eats women alive. And somewhere along the way, I stopped protecting you. That's when her voice cracked completely. I let attention distract me. I let people gas me up. I thought being wanted meant being powerful, but all it did was make me forget who had my back when I had nothing. The rawness, the honesty, the guilt dripping off every syllable. It stunned fans who had seen Remy as untouchable for years. But then, she dropped the line that broke the internet. He found out. Not for me. Not in private. He found out because someone else wanted to hurt me. Wait, what? Fans froze. Who told him? So she really was hiding it. Oh my God, this is worse than we thought. You didn't even tell him yourself. She continued, her hands visibly shaking. I should have told you. I should have been real before anyone else could twist it. But I was ashamed. Not because I didn't love you, B, because I knew I didn't deserve you anymore. And in that moment, RemyMa, battle-hardened, known-sense queen of lyrical war, broke down completely. She covered her face, sobbed into her hands. You could hear her whispering under her breath. I ruined everything. I ruined him. People in the comments were stunned. Even longtime haters were shook. I didn't expect this much honesty. I'm crying and I don't even like her like that. That man loved her. This is too much. Remy admitting this. It's historic. But just when fans thought the confession was over, she dropped a second bomb. There's one more thing. And I know I'll get dragged for this. But the person who told you, the one who sent that message, she pauses. Eyes fill again. It wasn't random. It was someone close. And just like that, everything flipped again, because that meant someone inside their circle leaked the truth. Someone who wanted to destroy their marriage and Remy. She knew exactly who it was, but she wasn't ready to say the name. Not yet. Instead, she ended the video with 6 words that echoed across the internet like a scream through silence. I love you. I always did. The screen went black. No outro. No music. No edits. Just RemyMa, exposed alone, crushed by her own guilt. And now the world has questions, millions of them. Because if that wasn't the end of the confession, what else is coming? And more importantly, who betrayed them both from the inside? The internet didn't even have time to process the emotional bomb Remy just dropped before the rumors started exploding across every timeline. Who leaked it? Who was close enough to know? Who had everything to gain from exposing her at the worst possible moment? And then someone spoke up. Not directly. No name, no face. Just an anonymous Reddit account tied to a notorious gossip thread known for leaking real industry drama weeks before it hits the blogs. And the message was only one sentence. Don't look at her enemies. Look at her friends. That was all it took. Suddenly, old clips were resurfacing. Pap and Remy at events. Pap and Remy behind the scenes. Pap and Remy with a third person always lingering just a little too close. A woman, stylish, low-key, smart. Always in Remy's shadow, but always there. Her name, Tasha Blake, Remy's longtime stylist. Her confidant, and now, according to insiders on Twitter, her former friend. Someone posted a screedy-corded voicemail allegedly between Tasha and an unnamed male voice that sounded eerily like a radio personality known to stir controversy. The voice on the call says, "We can't run the story unless it's airtight. If you're saying Remy cheated, we need proof. A photo, a message, something that'll break the internet." Tasha responds, clearly irritated. "I already sent it to Pap. Trust me. He knows, he just doesn't know it came from me." Boom, that line shattered everything. She sent it to Pap. The bed event meltdown makes sense now. Yo, she set Remy up. Imagine finding out your best friend outed your whole life to your husband. But it gets worse, because not only did Tasha allegedly leak the proof, she may have engineered the whole thing. Leak the proof? She may have engineered the whole thing. One insider, a verified stylist who claims to have worked with Remy briefly in 2022, dropped a scathing tweet. Everyone thought Tasha was loyal. Nah, she was jealous. She felt invisible next to Remy, and she hated how much Pap trusted her. She waited for a moment to strike. This was calculated. And just like that, the narrative flipped again. People weren't just mad at Remy anymore. They were turning their fury toward Tasha. She destroyed a family for what? Revenge. This is why loyalty is rare. Imagine holding secrets for years just to weaponize them when someone doesn't answer your texts. But Tasha didn't deny it. She didn't defend herself. She did something much more disturbing. She posted a photo, an old behind-the-scenes picture of Remy and Papoose, arms around each other, looking blissfully unaware. And in the blurry background, Tasha sitting alone watching them. The caption, "Don't worry, I always knew the truth would come out. I just helped it find the light." It's chills. The comments were brutal. People accused her of being obsessed, possessive, manipulative. But others started wondering if Tasha knew something even darker than what's already been exposed. Because there's another rumor bubbling up now. One that suggests Remy's affair was only half the story, and the real secret, the one no one's talking about yet, may explain why Remy stayed silent for months, and why Papoose might not be as innocent as we all believed. Because while the world mourned for Papoose, the heartbroken husband, the emotional anchor of an empire, there were whispers. Whispers that started in barbershops, slid into DMs, then exploded into full-blown threads across hip-hop Twitter. Y'all really think Papoose ain't got no skeletons? For years, he'd been painted as the flawless partner, patient, kind, forgiving. The man who waited nearly a decade while Remy sat behind bars. But now, people were starting to question everything. And it started with a tweet from an unverified account, but backed by screenshots that looked very real. Remy wasn't the only one who strayed. Papoose had a situation while she was locked up. The difference: he made sure no one found out. Until now. Attached was a photo, grainy, zoomed in, but unmistakable Papoose. 2016. At a hotel lobby in D.C. holding hands with a woman who wasn't Remy. The timestamps matched a weekend. He told fans he was at an industry retreat, and that was just the beginning. More screenshots followed. Alleged text messages. Blurry FaceTime call logs. A DM from a now deactivated Instagram model saying, "Funny how everyone crying for him now. I was the shoulder he cried on when Remy wasn't writing back. Don't play holy. Cue chaos." Wait, what? So both of them were playing each other. This whole relationship was built on pain and secrets. Pap had us out here ready to riot for him. The most damaging piece came next. A leaked email thread between a blogger and someone claiming to be one of Papoose's close friends. The subject line, "The affair he thought no one knew about." In it, the source describes an alleged Pap had with a woman named Asia, backup dancer from Brooklyn. video shoot who reportedly visited him multiple times during Remy's final years behind bars. But here's the twist. According to the email, Pap cut it off once Remy's release date was confirmed. He told her it was always Remy, that he was just lonely, that he didn't want to hurt anyone, but he couldn't breathe without feeling something. That line hit hard, because now the internet was divided all over again. So, he's human after all, doesn't mean he gets a pass. So we've been watching two broken people, pretending to be each other's saviors. And in the eye of this storm, Remy, because she knew. Insiders close to her started speaking to blogs, saying she'd known about Asia for years, that she found out after she came home, but decided to protect the brand, to bury it, to stay silent for the sake of their image, but it festered. And maybe, just maybe, that silence turned into resentment. That resentment into distance, and that distance into the very thing that shattered them both. Now, her apology video hits different. It's no longer just about her betrayal. It's about years of mutual damage, covered in filters and interviews in public, declarations of black love. But the fans aren't done, because someone else just stepped into the spotlight, taught someone who claims they've been holding on to recordings, real, undeniable, unfiltered audio from inside the Remy and Papoose household. And what's on those tapes could rewrite the entire story again. The person claiming to have recordings didn't give a name. No face, no location. Just a burner Twitter account that suddenly appeared out of nowhere, gaining 5,000 followers overnight after tweeting one sentence. I was in the house. I heard it all. And I pressed record. The internet lost its mind. Who is this? Are they serious? Is this just a clout chaser, or is this real? You were in the house. Like Remy's house. And then this second tweet dropped. Don't believe me? Here's a taste. More coming soon. Attached was a 13-second audio clip. No visuals. Just muffled voices in what sounded like an argument inside a kitchen. You can hear Papoose, clear as day, yelling, "If you ain't want to be here, then why the F*** did you come back?" Asterisk, asterisk, then Remy, her voice shaky but fiery, "Because I thought I owed you more than just a goodbye text." Cut, end of clip. And just like that, the world paused. That one moment shattered the entire illusion. Because for the first time ever, the mask slipped. The perfect couple was exposed not on stage, not in tabloids, but behind closed doors, raw and real and falling apart. Twitter was on fire. They had this convo at home. Someone in their inner circle recorded this. Yo, this is illegal. The betrayal goes deeper than we ever knew. Within hours, blogs were scrambling to identify the source. Gossip pages speculated it could be a housekeeper, a cousin, even a now estranged friend. But the most popular theory, it was Tasha again. People started connecting dots. She had access. She'd been in the house. She was close enough to accidentally overhear things and bitter enough to leak them if pushed. And if that theory was true, then this wasn't just about a broken marriage or an exposed affair. This was about systematic sabotage. And the next post from the burner account confirmed everyone's worst fears. The full tape is 46 minutes long. I'm not dropping it all yet, but when I do, y'all go and hear the moment everything fell apart, followed by one last line. They weren't fighting about cheating. They were fighting about what happened after. That sent fans into a complete meltdown. AFTER. What does that mean? You telling me there's more than an affair? What else happened? Did someone try to cover something up? Drop the tape now. This is too much. But then Remy went dark again. No posts, no reactions. No statements, and Papoose. He unfollowed everyone. Even Fat Joe. Even Remy. That silence. That radio silence. That's when fans knew. This isn't just drama anymore. This is a collapse. And the next piece of that 46-minute tape could be the one that ends their careers and exposes secrets so personal, so painful. The hip-hop community may never look at Remy RemyMa and Papoose the same again because someone's already heard the full audio. And they're saying the last 10 minutes are unforgivable. And then it happened just before midnight. The full audio leaked. Not through YouTube, not through Instagram, but via a dark, unlisted Dropbox link that circulated like wildfire through hip-hop group chats and Reddit. Threads, 46 minutes, unfiltered, no cuts. No edits. Titled simply, Papoose _home argument _full tape. WAV. It was raw, brutal, and devastating. And the last 10 minutes? Unforgivable. It begins with silence, the soft hum of a refrigerator in the background. Then footsteps. Then Papoose's voice exhausted. So now you want to pretend like you did nothing wrong? Remy fires back. I've said I'm sorry. I'm done begging for forgiveness. That ain't coming. What else you want from me, Pap? Blood. You can feel the tension. Years of pain condensed into minutes. Then Papoose drops a bomb. You didn't just cheat. You didn't just lie. You destroyed the legacy. Our name? Our movement. You gave them something they can never unsee. Remy goes quiet. Then, the line that breaks everything. You think I planned for it to go that far? I was drunk. I was vulnerable. He recorded me without consent. Silence. Papoose loses it. He recorded you. You mean there's video? Remy, barely audible. There's video? Remy, barely audible. I didn't know until months later. He said it was deleted. I believed him. That's when listeners realized this wasn't just an affair. There's a tape, an actual explicit tape recorded without her knowledge. Now allegedly in the hands of someone trying to leverage it, blackmail. And it wasn't just anyone, the name. Remy whispered, barely audible, on the leaked tape was E. That's all she said. Just one letter. But to those in the know, that was enough. Within hours, insiders started speculating the identity. A mid-level industry manager known as Eli, rumored to have been seen multiple times near Remy. During a stretch of solo club appearances last year, quiet, sneaky, opportunistic, and now allegedly the owner of the most explosive footage, the hip-hop world has never seen. And here's where it spirals completely out of control. Because if this tape exists and if it's being used to blackmail, Remit means Papoose knew months ago. And that whole breakdown at the industry event wasn't a first-time discovery. It was the last straw. Insiders now say he's been covering for her, that he's known about Eli since March, that he confronted the man, even offered money to bury the video. But when that didn't work, he walked. Which explains why Remy's apology was so frantic, so raw. She wasn't just sorry for cheating. She was trying to stop the collapse of her entire life before that video sees the light of day. And here's the scariest part. A popular gossip blogger posted a cryptic tweet at 3:04 a.m. Got the footage, deciding what to do with it. Lawyers already involved. The world is holding its breath. Because if that video drops, if this goes from rumor to reality, it won't just destroy RemyMa's legacy, it could end her career entirely. And Papoose, he might never recover. But before any of that happens, there's one more player stepping into the spotlight. Someone with a vendetta. Someone who's been waiting in the wings to take them both down. And they just posted one word. Tomorrow. That single word, tomorrow, sent the internet into chaos. No context. No follow-up. Just one post from a verified account tied to a name that had been eerily silent this whole time. Remy's former protege, Lady Luck. Yes. Her. The same Lady Luck. Remy battled and destroyed in one of the most vicious rap beefs of early 2000s underground hip-hop. The same Lady Luck who once called Remy her sister, then spent years throwing subliminals after their infamous fallout. And now, she was back. And she wasn't coming to heal, she was coming to finish the job. Hours after posting tomorrow, she went live on Instagram with over 100,000 people watching eyes wide. Jaws dropped, waiting to see what she was about to unleash. She stood in front of a whiteboard GS, A literal whiteboard covered in names, timelines, connections. It looked like a true crime investigation. And the first words out of her mouth, "Y'all think you know the story. You don't." Then she started pointing. This right here. March 2023. Eli reaches out to Remy's camp under the guise of collaboration opportunities. The same week, Papoose's cousin gets dropped from a label deal. Coincidence? Nah, fans were stunned. This wasn't a rant. This was a receipts presentation. By May, Remy starts doing solo bookings. No pap, no team. Just Eli and a female assistant who ain't even on payroll. By June, footage gets recorded. July, Pap finds out. August, Eli demands compensation or the tape goes public. Then she paused. But here's what y'all missed. Papoose paid. He paid to bury it. You think that man left over a rumor? Nah, he left because his soul couldn't carry the weight anymore. The comments section exploded. Wait, what? So Pap knew and still tried to protect her. Yo, this is like a movie, Lady Luck coming with facts. But she wasn't done, because Lady Luck then played a voicemail, an actual, recorded voicemail allegedly from Eli sent to a third party. And in it, you hear his voice arrogant laughing. She thinks I deleted the tape. She's a rapper, not a strategist. She played with me. I'll play harder. That audio spread like wildfire. That's extortion. This is criminal behavior now. That tape drops, Eli's going down. But Lady Luck's final words were the most chilling of all. She looked straight into the camera and said, "Remy, you remember what you did to me? All those years ago. How you tried to erase me from the game. I forgave you. I loved you. But watching you break the one man who worshipped you, watching you let this snake record you, play you, humiliate you." She paused, letting the silence sting. That tape ain't just about you. It's about the empire. You both built in secrets, lies, and silence. And when it comes out, ain't no apology in the world that's gone. Fix it. Live ended and the countdown began. Because now, the entire industry is on edge. Every blog has their finger on publish. Remy's legal team is scrambling behind the scenes. Papoose is reportedly leaving New York entirely. And Eli, he hasn't been seen in over 48 hours. What's on that tape is no longer the question. Now it's who's going to drop it first and who will survive the fallout. Because if the whispers are true, that footage doesn't just show betrayal. It shows RemyMa's darkest hour and tomorrow. Tomorrow might be the day the Queen of Bronx rap finally falls. By morning, tomorrow was no longer just a warning. It had transformed into a countdown. Twitter Spaces were live all night. Subreddits had pinned posts with theories, speculations, even alleged transcripts of the unseen footage. TikTok was full of side-by-side breakdowns of Remy and Papoose interviews from the past 3 years, now reanalyzed through the lens of betrayal and looming collapse. And when the clock hit 10 a.m. EST, something shifted. A private Discord known only to a handful of industry insiders leaked. The first still frame from the alleged video, blurry, dimly lit, but unmistakably Remy, hair tied up, tank top, standing across from a man in a studio hallway. The caption, "Told y'all." And this ain't even the worst part. That was all it took. Within minutes, every blog, every forum, every fan page was screaming the same thing. Drop IT. And then not exactly 11:04 a.m. a YouTube channel with no name, no followers, and a single upload appeared. Unlisted Remy_recording_final.mp for length. 3 minutes. 47 seconds. The first 30 seconds. Harmless. Remy and Eli joking, talking about moves. Music. Touring she's laughing, something that stings fans who watched her cry. Just days ago. Then comes the switch at the 0:31 mark. Eli gestures toward the camera and says, "It's cool if I record this, right? For memories." Remy, half distracted, shrugs. "Yeah, whatever. Just don't post it." Boom! That one sentence is now the most damning piece of evidence in her entire career, because from that moment on, every frame is consented but weaponized. What follows is not explicit in a physical sense but emotionally. It's devastating. Remy venting. About Papoose. About feeling smothered by loyalty. About wanting freedom, even if it hurts. She says, "Sometimes I look at him and I see a man who loves a version of me that doesn't exist anymore." She laughs, but it's hollow. I was a legend in prison. Now I'm somebody's wife trying to be a brand. Then Eli chimes in, "That's because he wants the fairy tale, not the woman." And Remy responds with the line that will now live in infamy, "Then maybe the fairy tale needs to die." Cut to black. Video ends. Silence across the internet. Like the entire world stopped breathing. Then the chaos begins. Did she really say that? She killed her own legacy with one line. This wasn't even about sex. This was spiritual infidelity. Pap gave her everything and she called it a fairy tale. People are divided. Some say she was just being honest. Others say she mocked the very man who breathed life into her when no one else would touch her career. And what's worse, Papoose's response came just 90 minutes later. A simple black and white Instagram story. Legends fall too. Just not as far when they've been standing alone. No tags. No video. No explanation. But everyone knew what he meant. And now, the floodgates are open. Every outlet is covering the fall of RemyMa. Bet has pulled an upcoming documentary featuring their Black Love segment. Brand partnerships have quietly disappeared from her Instagram. Spotify removed her from their Women in Rap playlist. Her team has locked down all comments on socials. The empire is crumbling. But here's the final twist that no one saw coming. At 4:47 p.m., a second video leaked. One not from Remy, not from Eli, but from a secret burner account tied to Lady Luck herself. And in it, a recording. Dated 2 years ago, a phone call between Papoose and a mysterious woman. One who wasn't Remy. One who says, "I know you're married, but you told me she's gone. You told me I was the only one." Papoose doesn't deny it. He whispers, "I needed someone. That's all. I'm sorry." Cut. Suddenly, everything changes again because now, Remy's betrayal is no longer one-sided. This isn't about who ruined who. This is about a marriage rotting from the inside out. Lolly painfully and now publicly. And the worst part, the final word from Lady Luck in her story post right after the video dropped. There's more. Y'all still think this is about cheating? It's not. It's about a pact, one that was broken. And when I show you what they promised each other before she even came home, you'll understand why none of this can be forgiven. One final promise. One final betrayal. One final revelation, and it's coming next. When the final recording drops, the one that may prove Remy and Papoose were never real only performing love for the world. And when it surfaces, there will be no coming back. Not for either of them. And then, just when the internet thought it couldn't take one more twist, Lady Luck posted a countdown clock. No caption. No audio, just a black screen and a timer slowly ticking down from 24 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. The caption? The pact. Unbroken until one of them broke it. Y'all ready to hear what they swore to never let out? And in less than 30 minutes, over 300,000 people had bookmarked the post. Twitter renamed the entire drama the Remy and Papoose pact scandal. Major blogs were speculating about NDAs, secret agreements, private recordings, and even ghostwritten memoirs that were never supposed to be seen. But by 3 a.m., the final piece dropped. And this one burned the whole foundation to the ground. The final recording, RemyMa_pact_call_2014. It was a phone call, crackly recorded while Remy was still in prison. Time-stamped, May 12, 2014. It begins with Remy's voice soft, serious, terrified. "If I don't come home the same person." If I've changed too much, I don't want you to feel like you owe me something. You don't have to wait. Just tell me." Papoose, in the clearest, strongest voice fans have ever heard, says, "I already decided. This ain't a wait. This is a promise. We've gone build a brand out of love. Real or not, we show the world it's unbreakable." Remy pauses. Then comes the line that changed everything. "So even if it's broken behind closed doors, we still play the part. Pap, we protect the brand. Till the end. No matter what." Right there, the pact, not love. Not forgiveness. A contract of loyalty to the illusion. The implication was soul-crushing. They faked it. Wait, the whole marriage was PR? Protect the brand. What about protecting the love? This is worse than the cheating. This was manipulation from the jump. Suddenly, the pieces clicked into place. The joint interviews. The carefully timed baby announcement. The flawless image of Black love that won them fans and endorsements and praise. It was strategic. And now it was exposed. The comments across all platforms were merciless. I believed in them like people believed in Beyoncé and Jay. I used to cry over their reunion. Now I feel played. They didn't love each other. They loved the performance. She didn't betray him. They betrayed us. And just when it seemed like there was nothing left to uncover, no more secrets, no more secrets. No more pain. RemyMa posted one final message to her Instagram story. A black screen. White letters. No music. No voice. Sometimes we lie to survive. Sometimes we pretend to protect the people we love. But eventually, pretending kills everything. I never stopped loving you, Pap, but I forgot how to love me. She didn't say goodbye. She didn't deny anything. She let the truth hang there, like the final note in a sad song. And within minutes, Papoose deleted his entire Instagram account. Gone. Vanished. Silent. The era of Remy and Papoose, the fairy tale. The fantasy, the fortress of unshakable love, collapsed in less than a week. Years of loyalty, legacy, and sacrifice dissolved under the weight of secrets and shattered illusions, and fans. They're still in shock. Some mourn, some rage, some feel betrayed. Because what was once held up as the gold standard of hip-hop love now serves as a cautionary tale of how even the strongest can crack behind the curtain. But here's the true final twist. Rumors are now swirling that a docuseries is already in pre-production. Working title: Papoose and Remy, The Love That Lied. And if even half of what's been leaked so far is true, the doc won't just tell their story, it'll bury it.